Commentary on John 7:40-53. John 7:40-53 captures a moment of division at the close of Jesus' teaching during the Feast of Tabernacles. The passage reveals contrasting responses to his words: belief, confusion, rejection, and hesitation, while quietly exposing the fading authority of the Old Covenant system and the emerging clarity of fulfillment. Verses 40-44. Division. Among the people, some who heard his words concluded, "This is the prophet," while others declared him to be the Christ. Yet confusion immediately arises. Shall Christ come out of Galilee? Their reasoning is rooted in a partial understanding of Scripture. They knew the Messiah would be associated with Bethlehem and the line of David, but they lacked full knowledge of Jesus' origin. This moment highlights a deeper reality. Truth had already arrived, yet it was being filtered through incomplete expectations. The people were attempting to reconcile what they thought Scripture required with what was standing before them. The result was division. The division itself is significant. It reflects the transitional nature of that time, where the Old Covenant understanding was being confronted by its fulfillment. The presence of Christ exposed the limitations of relying on external knowledge without spiritual discernment. Verses 45-49. The officers and the Pharisees. The temple officers return empty-handed, unable to arrest him, declaring, "Never man spake like this man." Even those sent to seize him are arrested, not physically, but inwardly, by the authority of his words. The Pharisees respond with contempt, dismissing both the officers and the crowd. Have any of the rulers or of the Pharisees believed on him? Their confidence rests in institutional authority rather than truth itself. They further condemn the common people as ignorant of the law. Ironically, those who prided themselves on understanding the law failed to recognize the one to whom the law pointed. This exposes the limitation of a system that emphasizes external knowledge while missing its fulfillment. The contrast is sharp. The officers recognize something undeniable in his words. The Pharisees reject him based on position and tradition. This reveals that recognition of truth is not dependent on status, but on perception shaped by the Spirit rather than the letter. Verses 50-52. Nicodemus speaks. Nicodemus, who had previously come to Jesus by night, speaks cautiously. Doth our law judge any man before it hear him, and know what he doeth? His defense is not bold, but it is significant. He appeals to the very law the Pharisees claim to uphold. Yet even this appeal is rejected. Their response is dismissive and sarcastic. Art thou also of Galilee? They insist that no prophet arises from Galilee, again demonstrating their reliance on incomplete interpretation. Nicodemus represents a tension within the system, someone beginning to perceive truth, yet still operating within the framework of the Old Covenant structure. His voice shows that even within that system, cracks were forming. Verse 53, departure. The chapter closes with a simple statement, "And every man went unto his own house." This ending is more than narrative. It reflects unresolved division. The people disperse, each carrying their own conclusion about Jesus. No collective agreement is reached. This dispersal mirrors the condition of that generation, confronted with fulfillment, yet not unified in recognizing it. Thematic summary. 1. Fulfillment confronts expectation. The people's misunderstanding of Jesus' origin reveals how prior expectations can obscure present reality. The fulfillment of Scripture does not always align with human assumptions about how it should appear. 2. The limitation of institutional authority. The Pharisees' rejection demonstrates that authority rooted in tradition and structure cannot produce recognition of fulfillment. Their confidence in the law becomes a barrier rather than a guide. 3. The power of the word itself. The officer's response shows that truth carries its own authority. Without theological training or status, they perceive something undeniable in Jesus' words. 4. Transition from old to fulfilled reality. This passage sits within a larger transitional context. The Old Covenant system, represented by the Pharisees, is shown to be incapable of recognizing its own fulfillment, while individuals begin to perceive something greater emerging. 5. Division as evidence of revelation. The division among the people is not incidental. It is the natural result of revelation confronting established understanding. Truth exposes, separates, and reveals what was previously hidden. Closing reflection. John 7:40 to 53 presents a scene where truth stands plainly before the people, yet responses vary widely. Some recognize, some question, and others reject outright. The passage captures a pivotal moment where fulfillment is present, but not yet universally acknowledged, revealing both the power of revelation and the limitations of systems unable to perceive it.